So welcome again, everyone, to the Gradient League Pastel Edition. I am Devil Toad DM, and I am joined here today by my players, Passive Possum,
Howdy, howdy.
Jog Saw,
What's up?
Steven,
Good afternoon, sir.
and Tyrannical Terror.
It didn't come through. Awesome. I love being cool and then it immediately backfiring on me.
I thought that you were just sitting there vibrating with rage.
So, last time, Team Gambit scraped what they wanted when they went on an overnight five-finger discount shopping spree at the Saffron Mega Mall. Along the way, Ashton Firth stole the security guard's loyal Houndor after Team Gambit defeated the rookie in battle. Durst played around with RC cars, and Madeline and Upton stormed the Rockbuster video for TMs. As well, Winona's insatiable appetite and need to chew on things broke open the black case that Durst was conscripted to deliver by Officer Gibbs, the cop in the pocket of the Lynn family. Once the team returned to their hideout, they learned that the special delivery was in fact an undocumented Pokemon, never before seen, and that had an uncanny ability to copy the appearance of others. Now named Kenny, the Pokemon became the focal point for the party's final plan to heist the prized Pokemon of the Saffron City gym leader Simone Richards. After finalizing some preparation, Team Gambit found their information contact Jibby, preparing for a fight. He was there to take back his turf, P-Dove Street, and he showed that he really was telling the truth all this time, as descended from the rooftops into the dark alley of P-Dove Street was the very gang of birds that run it, the P-Doves, and their leader, a very angry-looking Tranquil with fists. Finally, Team Gambit gets the chance to show that they are truly in a league of their own. I'm getting our initiative pulled up, but again, where we last left off is these P-Doves moved out to the side. They're snapping, letting their leader in. The leader flew down, and he clenched these wings out in front of him, and you saw that they formed fingers at the end, and he had equipped brass knuckles. You realized that Jimmy hadn't been lying at all. There really was a bird with fists out here.
I forgot the bird had brass knuckles.
Those are going to be my breast knuckles.
So first up in initiative order is going to be Madeline, but Jimmy's going to say, "See, Madeline, I told you that it's him. That's the boss."
I didn't actually. I did. I'm not sure what I thought when you said the bird had fists. That's not it.
That's the guy. He's got a mean right hook. You want to watch out for that.
I'm
Noted.
sure of it. Whoa. We're so far away. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to get anywhere close to this thing. So I'm just going to move up 5 spaces. And
Okay.
that'll end my turn because it's all the way at the end of the alley.
You want to prep anything? Use your orders, anything like that?
Do I have any orders? I have inspired training. Which of the Pokemon that we have, does it only apply to mine?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm going to save that for now.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's going to be the end of my turn. Very uneventful.
Okay, no worries. Next up is going to be Winona. Winona the Rockruff.
Winona is going to look back at Durst, not quite understanding what's going on at the moment, to which Durst is just going to, look at Winona and, shoot them forward with their hands, go forward. Nona's just going to confusedly go here.
Okay, so the two of you, Madeline and Winona, begin walking down the city street or down this alleyway. You've got these tall buildings on either side of you, multi-leveled, with windows, lights still on up top, neon signs even down this back alley. There's like some hole-in-the-wall restaurants, dumpsters, sewer grates, that sort of thing. The place is really run down. It looks like that bad side of town sort of alley that you're in. And Madeline, you've now got Winona trotting up next to you, at the same pace. And is that going to be
I'm gonna reach
Winona's
down
turn?
and pet her on her head.
Is that going to be Winona's turn?
Yes. Madeline, your hand feels a little bit dusty after that.
Fine. I experience it all the time when I pet my cat.
So next up is
She
going to be
doesn't clean herself.
So next up is going to be the Tranquil. The Tranquil, you're going to see it's going to lift up that hand with the brass knuckles, going to close each of its fingers, grip it. You'll hear like the crunch of its feathers as they rub against each other. And the bird is going to launch itself forward, arm out behind. It looks like it's trying to intimidate you all as it moves. You're going to see that it's going to move up 30 feet. It zooms down the alleyway towards you guys in your direction. That'll be
There's still
Oh
like
my.
a good 60 feet between us.
that'll be all it does on its turn. And it will be now Gothita's turn. You got these two opposing sides slowly closing into each other for a back alley brawl.
Started this brawl, just a tiny bit closer to each other.
You have to awkwardly
Gothita's
fast walk
really
towards each other.
slow. Yeah, we're like speed walk. Can they occupy the same space?
Um,
Or do I have to cut Gothita's movement short because she has one less than I do?
you can make Gothita move diagonal. To be next to you.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah,
Forgot
so
about that.
So Gothita on your left, Winona on your right. Madeline, you're making the full approach, you being the swiftest on the team. Will that be the end of Gothita's turn? Does she have anything that she wants to do in preparation? This is essentially a round for you guys to be able to set things up if you so choose. Otherwise, if you guys just want to rush the birds, that's also fine. But I wanted to give an opportunity if there's any plans that you had.
But she is just gonna look very intense,
Okay.
staring down this bird.
All right. Next up
She's
is going to
got a
be
thing with birds.
okay. Next up is going to be Gregory the Rhyhorn.
See, my overland is how far I can move, right?
Yes.
All right. He's going to move himself forward.
Gregory pulls himself just a little bit ahead of the pack. The other P-Doves in the back. You're noticing that even though you guys are lining up, the P-Doves, they almost seem to get like these sadistic smirks as you all start pushing, and they seem to have the utmost confidence in their boss, the Tranquil.
Hmm.
And it's Ashtonfirth's turn.
He's come up this way. He's going to try and stay behind Gregory. He knows he's tanky.
Okay. All right. So you sticking to the left side of the alley, keeping Gregory in between you and the P-Doves. It'll now be a couple of the P-Doves' turns. They will also start moving forward. They're not too fast, but I say that, but they're going to move up 25 feet. These two are 2 and 3. The ones closest to the sides of the Tranquil, and then you've got 1 and 4 who appear to be hanging out. So they've got this triangle shaped spear point. You've got the Tranquil up front. Then 15 feet behind it at an angle is 2 and 3, and then another right now 25 feet behind that is 1 and 4 at the far back. It is Upton's turn.
All right. So let's see. I'm gonna see everyone else walking forward. Just be like, well, this is it. I'm just gonna walk up beside him or slightly behind them because I'm a slow guy. My overland is only 4. I'm just gonna walk up beside him and
Okay.
kind of be watching. His I know Scoop kind of got bodied the last few times he tried to fight. So I'm like, oh, please don't let this happen again.
And then it is going to be Horace's turn.
Horace is going to look forward to Winona, who is kind of trotting forward, squinting at the small gang in front of them, and he's going to call after Winona to play rough as an order. To which Winona is going to pause. Her eyes, previously shifting back and forth, are going to laser focus directly in front of her.
Okay.
To the boss.
For sure.
As her hackles will raise.
We will move on to PETA 4. PETA 4 is also going to be moving up. Now 15 feet behind the Tranquil are 3 of the 4 PETAs. PETA 1's kind of lagging behind because now it is Scoop's turn.
All right.
Scoop
You're
the
gonna-
Solosis.
Somewhere up, and he's just gonna kind of float forward. And go next to one of those. Like, yeah, he's just gonna walk up, not really making much move, kind of petrified. He sees this bird that's got hands, and it's kind of confused, kind of scared, kind of bracing for the worst.
Okay. All right. So Scoop is pretty nervous about the fight.
Yeah.
I did not add Jimmy and Dizzy to the initiative, but that is going to be pretty fitting considering how scared they are. So they are going to hang back for this round. Jimmy and Dizzy being um, almost petrified, as this would be like round 3 or 4 with these birds, and only making it out of those once successfully. Madeline, it's back up to the top of initiative. It's your turn. You should be close enough to be able to start using anything ranged that you might have with this turn.
You would think. Can I hold an action for when they get into my range? Because they're not really going to be in range until they move.
Sure. What are you wanting to hold to do?
I was just going to use baby doll eyes to lower their attack by 1 combat stage.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'll say that you
But
can hold
it's
it.
got a range of 4.
All right. Yeah. Are you gonna hang back on your turn then and just wait for them to come to you?
I don't know if they're going to get close enough. I guess I will. I'll hang back a little bit.
Okay. And that makes it Jimmy and Dizzy's turn. Jimmy is gonna look to Dizzy and he's gonna say, "All right, well, listen, we got all our friends here," and you guys will overhear Jimmy calling you friends.
Aw.
No one was mean to him. He's going to look to you all, see that no one said anything mean about him calling you his friends, and he's gonna just get like this smile of confidence. He's gonna say, "Yeah, it is.
Matt
All our
pretending
friends are
that she didn't hear it.
all our friends are here. We can take them. We got them this time. There ain't no way. We outnumber them 2-1." And Dizzy, you're gonna see like the two heads are going to take turns like nodding, in agreement, and Jimmy is going to grip a fist and he's gonna begin running into the fray alongside you all.
Turn around like she was going to say something snarky. Like, are you actually going to help fight with us? And then he immediately starts sprinting. So she shuts up.
Dizzy is going to
Angry that she
he
didn't get to
he is
say a snarky
super
thing once.
fast, so he's gonna be
Zoom
moving
in.
up 35 feet. Moving up right next to Scoop in the battle line that we have with Gothita, Madeline, Winona, Scoop, and Dizzy in that order, just
We're
all in a
building a
straight
wall
line.
so we can't be flanked.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
Next up is gonna be the Tranquil's turn. The Tranquil is actually going to be a little bit boastful. Hanging back, seeing Winona is leading the charge. You're gonna see he's gonna begin cracking his knuckles and getting ready. He sees Winona charging, and he sees his first target in that. He's gonna
Man.
pass on his turn, and that's gonna make it Gothita's turn.
Oh, he just kind of
Gothita's
standing there. I
moving up.
see.
So far away. Yeah, she's so slow and he's so far. So she's just gonna move.
Gregory, back up to you.
All right. And Gregory is going to move, keeping himself in front. And as he's staring down the Tranquil, he's going to like scuff the ground with his front leg a little bit. He's ready to go.
Okay. And Ashton Firth, you follow up.
Keeping in pretty close behind.
Okay. So Ashton Firth, you approach this dumpster on your left. Roll me a perception check.
13.
13. Perfect. So just underneath the dumpster that's there, you spot something bright yellow. And as disgusting as it may be for you, you see a perfectly intact citrus berry.
Oh.
This being the reward that someone cashed in back on the last Neon episode. One of the players cashed in and gifted you all a random berry encounter.
Nice.
And so you do find an item. What a citrus berry does, if you pick it up, you can leave it there if you want to. But a citrus berry restores 15 hit points.
Hey, nice.
Oh wow, that's good.
Ashton Firth is going to
Really
reach
good.
down and pick it up, but he's going to like grab it like with his thumb and index finger, like it's gross, and he's
So, like
gonna
pulls out like a handkerchief or something.
yeah yeah he's gonna put it in his inside suit pocket.
You got your berry. It's now the Pete of 2 and 3's turn. They're gonna move up and be like little bouncers for the Tranquil, moving just 5 feet in front of it on either side. Just standing there. You're gonna see like the two of them. They're gonna cock their head towards Winona and give like an angry look, staring her down. And it's gonna be Upton's turn.
All right, much like before, I'm just gonna walk forward, and he's probably also gonna pop out his camera because this is a bird with hands, for goodness sake. You don't see this every day.
Right.
So you're gonna grab a picture because I still have to get pictures for that old man in the mall.
Where did it get the brass knuckles?
The world may never know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna step forward, get a little photo before things really get started of this
Okay.
bird with hands.
Awesome.
Who armed this bird?
Someone that the bird disarmed. Horace's turn.
Oh.
Now stand toe to toe with Madeline. As such, he is going to reach into his pocket
Can
and
you speak up
produce.
a tad louder? I can't really quite make out what you're saying.
Is this better?
Yeah, you're fine.
Awesome. So he's going to reach into his coat pocket and produce a skitty.
May I offer you a
He's
cat
had
in
a
these trying
cat in his,
times?
his pocket.
As he is going to set Irma down beside him and point towards the scene unfolding and say, "Watch."
Right, let's
That will
get
be the end of Durst's turn.
Irma out on the battle map. We'll put her just in between the two of you. As a recap of what the map is sitting at, let's go ahead and move up the Pete staggering out behind Pete 3 on the left side. So on the same lateral plane as the Tranquil. You got Pete 4 10 feet away, Pete 3 5 feet away in front, Pete 2 5 feet away in front on the other side. Pete 1 is still lagging behind. It's Scoop's turn.
All right, he's gonna move forward a little more, just right in front of Upton, and nothing is in range yet, so that is going to be his turn.
Perfect.
Next turn, we'll be able to make things happen.
Perfect.
The next turn's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
Pete 1 moves up, and to recap the battle, we have the Pete of Pete Street as well as the Tranquil in sort of like a W fashion, with the or I guess an M, with the Tranquil center with two Pete in front and left and right, and 4 and 1 off to the side. On your side of things, you've got Gregory the Rhyhorn with Gothita trailing behind. Winona up front is charging straight ahead for the Tranquil. Scoop just behind Winona, and Upton is just behind Scoop. Horace and Madeline staying back. Irma watching to the side. Jimmy is running as fast as he can up, and Dizzy is full sprinting. Just another turn, and he should be up with the rest of you in battle. But this is the turn that things begin to happen. You've had your preparations. You've begun setting up your positioning. And at this point, you're close enough that battle is inevitable. Madeline, it is your turn, top of initiative.
These birds have like formed 3 to 5 different formations over the course of this battle, and not a single punch has been thrown. Anyways, that's unrelated. Madeline's gonna look around at her coworkers, I guess, her colleagues. Gonna watch Ashton first pick up some random junk from underneath a dumpster. Watching Upton take pictures of the bird that we're about to fight, and Doris just pulled a cat out of his coat. She looks a little bit concerned, so she turns to Gothita. She's like, "You know, it's not that different from stunt work. I think you're going to be a little better at this than you think you will. I'm going to use inspired training on Gothita, which is going to make her inspired until the end of her next turn. She'll gain a bonus to her evasion and 2 save checks.
Perfect. All right. It's going to be Jimmy's turn. Jimmy's going to run up next to you, Madeline, and stand just a little bit ahead and to the left, staying out of your way, but clearly like showing that he's putting himself in front of you if anything happens. Dizzy, he's got his orders, and he is full sprinting ahead. So Dizzy now takes the lead in front of everyone. And it's Winona's turn.
I'll make a quick roll. All right. Yep. Target spotted.
What was that for?
This is my roll because there are 4 targets right
Okay.
here. She's going after the third one, that being right here. So, with that, now that they are 2 within range, Winona is going to leer in the direction of this one. Roll that for you now. Oof.
Let me see what his evasion is. I don't know if a 1. It's unnatural because you're applying the AC and everything. But physical evasion or speed evasion is 1. Meets beats. So you are going to successfully leer this Pokemon. So you have this. What does Winona's leer look like towards the speed of?
So Winona's hackles are going to rise, and her eyes are going to look forward, but then they're going to unfocus in ungodly amount as they are now just giant pitch black orbs.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, he looks a little shaken. Tad shaken. Is that going to be the end of Winona's turn?
Uh, that will be, as I have no more movement and I have used my move.
So the Tranquil is up next. He's already set his sights on Winona. He sees her, and he is going to charge towards her, rear back his fist, and attack with Power Up Punch for a critical hit.
Oh God.
No.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
That is going to be
41.
67 physical damage
Oh.
minus your defense,
Oh.
and then
Oh, that's
multiply
bad.
that by times and a half.
So that is going to one-shot Winona, as her hit point max is 45.
So that is going to be. Was it? Ooh, dude. Winona just took 4 injuries from that.
Ooh.
Oh God.
1 from the 50% threshold, 1 from the 0% threshold, 1 from massive damage, and 22 would be half of 45 since we round down. That's 4 injuries Winona just took in that one hit.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
she is
Injuries
not
of death
not
again?
she is not feeling well.
And it's how many to lights out?
So you just hit. For permanent, it's 10. Yeah, it's 10 for a prolonged
Almost.
sleep.
She almost got beaten half to death by this one punch.
This is problematic.
I don't remember the anime being anything like this.
So she's at negative 15 right now.
Oh yeah, because your defense. Never mind. So she only took the 3. She only took 3 injuries. But yeah, Winona gets punched right in the snout, like right on the bridge of her snout by the fist of the Tranquil, and her face gets buried into Pita Street. You see this plume of dust kick up as Winona's chin cracks the cobbled bricks of the alleyway back here, and you see your beloved partner Pokemon unmoving in the middle of the alleyway, and that is
Durst,
going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Durst's eyebrow will raise up. Just one, very slightly.
Okay. All right.
All
And the next turn is going to be Gothita. Irma is
Jesus
down to
Christ.
Irma's down to the side of you, Madeline. And Durst, you haven't looked back at her yet, but Madeline, you look at Irma because you saw whenever Durst put her out. Irma's shaking because the last command that she was given was watch, and she just saw Winona get ran up on by the bird and put in the ground.
Madeline is also a little bit shaken. Okay. Yeah, Gothita's pissed by this. She sprints up. It's not very fast. She's got tiny little stub legs. And as she's sprinting, there's this crackling electricity coming off of her, and she's going to hit this main tranquil with a thunderbolt that she just learned.
And then that'll hit for 30 special damage. You got a 2 with your AC. Special evasion on this is just 1. 30 super effective damage. 2, and then we multiply. For 33 special damage is what you're going to total out to. And you'll see like the static electricity spiking off of the feathers of the tranquil. Parts of it are raised up, singed from the intense heat of the electricity. And it did definitely take a significant hit. You see the tranquil's ire turn towards Gothita, its eyes uh, honing in on his next target now, clenching his fists again and ready. You see the other P-Dubs are furious at this, being able to see an attack that actually dealt significant damage to their boss.
When he turns, when it turns to look at her, she is just glaring and seizing at him.
Good deal. So we got a little bit of a rivalry between the two of them. Next up is going to be Gregory's turn.
All right. Gregory's a little shaken by Winona getting pounded into the dirt. He's gonna come around here, skirt around, and hit the tranquil with a fury attack.
What did you get?
That's a good question. Which of these is the actual roll?
It was
10?
Yeah. You can just let me know
10 does hit.
whatever's in the purple box. Yeah, the 10
Alright.
does hit. And for your 5 strike, you got 3 hits. So, in your damage base, multiply that. I believe it's 2 right now. Change that to 6, and then roll the damage.
29.
Hell yeah! All right. 29 normal physical damage, taking another hit. How does Gregory hit with the fury attack? What does this look like?
He's just like absolutely throwing hands. Like, you know that gif of Pikachu slapping himself?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that. He's just slapping the tranquil.
nice. All right. And Ashton Firth, you get to follow up.
Question first. I'll keep to the side. He's just kind of like sidling along the wall, trying to not be seen.
Is that tranquil still up?
Yeah,
Dang,
it is the boss.
that is a very good point. Yeah.
And he's just gonna hang there.
2 and 3's turns. The one's just to the side of the tranquil. 2 is going to see that that the boss is starting to get swarmed, so he's going to move up and get in between Gothita and Gregory in sort of a more of a valiant way, letting the boss handle his own fights, but making sure that the fight stays just one-on-one is what he's doing. So this P-Dove, as he moves up onto Gothita, is going to attack with Gust.
And she does have a bonus to her evasion. Gotta remember that.
Okay.
Not that it matters.
This will also trigger an attack of opportunity from Gregory, if you would like to take advantage of that, Steven.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So roll a struggle attack, because Gust is a ranged move. He's using it within melee range of you on a different ally that's not you. Ooh,
Gotcha.
critical fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
All
Or
right.
critical fail too.
So Gothita will resolve this first. He rolled max damage on this.
He
32.
did. I see that.
32 special damage. Is flying type,
Yep.
so no resistance. Now over to the critical fail, Gregory, as he what do you think the critical fail is going to look like? What do you envision?
I'm assuming he's just gonna like swing around to take a stab at the pit of, but like just fall on his ass.
Okay. So he swings himself around after doing the fury attack, like hitting multiple times, his head going in like a drill. And then as he swings his head around to try and hit the P-Dove, he swings a bit too hard. I'm gonna say he gets a little bit dizzy, and we'll have a -1 to your next attack roll on your turn. and that'll
Okay.
be the effect we get from that. Now kicking it over
It
to
has got
Pete of
one injury.
kicking it over
That-
to Pete of 3. He's gonna move up, seeing that Jimmy or seeing that Dizzy is bolting in the direction. Pete of is going to move up on Dizzy and try and keep him in place. So Pete of number 3 will attack Dizzy with a gust as well. I don't think that hits Dizzy. You got a 2, meets beats. That'll hit for 23 special damage. These strong gusts of wind come in like razors and begin pelting Dizzy all over. You see like parts of his feathers get ruffled up, fly off behind him, but he's digging his claws onto the bricks of the alleyway. You can see where his claw marks have scratched onto it, leaving like the white sediment coming up underneath it. It's up to Upton's turn.
Right, so Lebanon's gonna stay there, but I'm gonna do some inspired training until the end of infectration. I imagine that's till the end of Scoop's turn.
I think it's actually till the end of your next turn.
Okay, until then my next turn. So I'm gonna look Scoop, grab by his like, all right. I know we just saw your friend kind of just get pounded into dust, but you got this.
Scoop
Strike
turns to
two.
you.
It's real
freak out.
inspiring.
Yeah, it's like, you got this. Sure, you don't have hands, but you got this. Go
Scoop
for
turns to you and gives a little bit of a worried look. You can see the tiny eyebrows inside the membrane lift up, and he almost looks a little bit with a scared pout before he finally turns and gives a nod and gets ready, knowing that his friends need him, and if Scoop doesn't do something, that it could cause his other friends to get hurt. So
Yeah.
Scoop is in the zone now.
Yeah.
It's over to Horace's turn.
Horace is going to reach back, pick up Irma by the scruff of her neck, and he is going to move forward. And with that, he is going to look over to Winona. And is Winona unconscious right now?
Yes.
Very well. Would healing Winona wake them back up?
You would have to have a revive for that.
Dang. Well, he is going to, with Irma in hand, I don't want to throw them. Can I set them out in front of me?
Sure.
That is what Horace is going to do. He's going to lean down next to Irma and say, "Your turn."
What is Irma's speed?
Irma's speed is 8.
This imagery would not be as harrowing if she was just in a Pokeball. But the
We
fact that he's like picking her up by her scruff to do this.
We don't have those.
walking
You
up
don't have
this.
her Pokeball?
If you
I
remember,
lit-
he robbed her from a pet store. He never got a Pokeball for.
Oh,
I
Didn't
walked
think to
in
pick it
there.
up?
No, I saw them in the playpen. It was like this one. Grabbed one, put it in pocket, ran. Pocket cat.
Pocket
oh my
cat.
goodness.
All right.
She's just terrified.
Now over to P-Dub number 4's turn. Gonna move up, provide some backup to the boss. You're gonna see that it's going to step on Winona's unconscious body, using her to make itself look bigger. And it's Scoop's turn.
There's a lot of guys over here. I imagine you can see that this Tranquil is kind of in bad shape.
Not really.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
It's taken some damage.
Lightly roasted.
Taking some damage.
It's taken some damage, but it's not in bad shape. No.
Jeez, this thing has a lot of health. Okay.
The air smells gently of fried chicken.
Okay.
And
See.
burnt sewer gas.
So I am going to. So Scoop's gonna float forward a little bit, get just in range to where this Pia that's on top of Winona. Doesn't like that Winona's kind of being used as a stepping stool. And I'm gonna use a Psy Shock on that P-Dove.
Okay.
I got a 2 AC.
Yeah. That'll hit.
For 43 damage
43 damage. When
Ooh.
calculating
on
damage,
this little P-Dub.
the target subtracts their defense from Psyshock's damage instead of their special defense. Still otherwise special. So 43 physical. What does Psyshock look like? This is the first time you've used it.
That is a very good question. I imagine Scoop's eyes kind of glow. He kind of vibrates around his little membrane, and nothing appears to happen. But then the eyes of this P-Dub start to glow, and he also starts to shake around. It just, there's no signs of anything happening other than just these two vibrating, and this thing's obviously getting hit by something.
Okay. Yeah, you'll see
A little
that
horrific.
its body will begin to undulate as it almost is being attacked from the inside. And it begins to retch until you see the bird just vomit up something. You can't really tell what it is, but
Bro.
it's red, it's chunky,
Pretty intense, but all right.
and it spits it out. You can see that this thing is teetering. It's like trying to catch itself on its feet with how hurt it is. And that kicks it over to P-Dub number 1's turn. He's going to move up
I
on
was gonna
Gregory.
say something silly, and then
Turned into a freaking horror.
Say again, Terry. You kind of broke up there.
I was gonna say something silly, and then it puked its lungs out or something.
Did
I
it
was gonna
puke
say
onto
that
Winona?
I imagine that Scoop has the consistency of like freshly set Jello, and when he's using this and wobbling, he sounds like one of those metal sheets being wobbled. Just whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah. P-Dub number 1 moves up right next to Gregory, and he is going to use Growl
Okay.
right up on Greggy. Critical hit on Growl. Heck yeah,
my
let's go.
God.
There's no additional effect. It's Growl. Lowers your effect, your attack stat by 1 combat stage.
He growls really well.
Yeah,
Like the
dude, it's
acoustics in this alleyway.
Like this
Cool.
bird roars like a tiger or something.
what's like the scariest bird sound you can think of? Because it's that.
If like a red-tailed hawk screech came out of this tiny little pigeon.
It does exactly that. You hear this
Or a
loud
southern
ear-piercing bird of prey noise come out of the small pigeon with a heart on its chest. And Gregory instantly winces, still a little bit dizzy from missing that last attack. It's like that full spin around, and he's still trying to catch himself, and then this bird flies up and screeches in its face. It is Madeline's turn.
Yeah. After that whole situation with Winona, Madeline is going to stop standing back here and try and run up ahead a little bit more. She's not going to be close enough to do anything, but next turn she will be, and that's what's important. And that's it.
All right. It's going to be Jimmy's turn. Jimmy moves up, and he sees Winona being trampled on. He sees Dizzy having taken a devastating hit from the gust. He sees Gothita getting hit, and he knows that Irma's about to be sent back in. So he's trying to protect everyone as best he can, trying to make sure that he's not the worthless little street punk that everyone thinks that he is. And he reaches into his pack. Got a small, like, hip side satchel. It doesn't go over the shoulder, but on his belt. He reaches in and he says, "The only gift Dad ever gave me before he passed." He looks at a black Pokeball with yellow stripes. He rears back and he throws it over towards the Tranquil.
Hey.
Cool.
Your dad, bro.
Natural 20.
Oh.
This thing
Cool.
hits the Tranquil right on the top of the head, and he gets sucked in. A critical roll on a Pokeball throw reduces the capture by 15. Makes it easier to catch. Okay, so we're gonna see Jimmy catches it.
Big. It's big for Jimmy.
99.
This is the first time we've used Pokeballs as intended.
Jimmy is going to use a feature that he has for being a street Rattata to re-roll that catch chance. You see the ball hit. It gets pulled in. The ball clacks to the ground. The P-Dubs look in shock. And you see it shake once. You see it bounce up as it shakes, and it clacks back down to the ground. You see it bounce off to the other side. You see a little crack forming on the top of the lid. You see Jimmy like clenching his fist, looking at it. You see this look of determination on his face. And then you see the bright red light on the front of the ball dim down to white.
You done did it. Nice job,
Nice.
Jimmy.
Nice.
He caught
I forgot
the
for a
bird
second
with
this was a
hands.
wild Pokemon.
Got the old brass knuckles.
He looks around at you guys and he's like, "Guys, did I just catch the fucking bird?
You caught the fucking bird, man.
I caught the fucking bird!"
I'm just gonna look for him to do like straight out thumbs up, like, good job.
The other
We're still in
P-Dubs,
the middle of a fight. There's four of them left. We can't celebrate yet.
the P-Dubs look, and you see this look of enraged fury wash over all four of them. This little punk that they've been having to defend their home against has just brought more people in here and now caught their boss. They are angry, and that will give them a slight buff for the rest of the encounter.
Oh boy.
That is going to be Dizzy next up. He's right up on P-Dub number 3, and he's going to use Peck. 3 will hit for 32 physical, and that'll be Dizzy's turn. Next up is going to be, would have been the Tranquil, but he's out of combat. It's Gothita's turn.
So there's still this P-Dub in between us that has sort of flanked itself.
Yep.
And she's still got that static electricity like arcing off of her. It's clearly taken a lot out of her. So instead, she looks at the P-Dove in between them and does that Kubrick stare of just pure hate and malice, and you can feel her eyes in the back of his head. That is a 5 to hit with confusion.
That is going to hit.
For 25 damage, I did not roll very well.
You see a little bit of drool begins to dribble out of the corner of its beak down into its feathers as its eyes sort of rotate in their sockets, looking at Gothita. These purple psi waves coming off into him with confusion. And it's Irma's turn.
All right. Irma, being more scared of Durst than the P-Dubs, will move
Jesus.
here and target this one with a tackle.
What'd you get?
I got a AC2.
Hell yeah. All right, that's going to hit. 35 damage. How do you finish off this one?
Irma, in a cat panic, is going to shoulder charge into this P-Dub, and it's just going to make the hit sound, I imagine, as it impacts, as it is knocked unconscious.
It's like that scene in Shrek when they turn whenever
No.
Fiona
No.
sings and it
Oh,
just
that's
pops.
awful. That's awful. No, that's awful.
That
No.
scene traumatized me.
You knock this P-Dub unconscious. And that makes it Gregory's turn.
All right.
Jiggy.
Right. So he's gonna use a horn attack on this top P-Dub, and you said -1 to my next attack roll.
Yep, -1.
I guess I would still hit. So 7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
For 26 physical. And which one was it that you were attacking? 2 or 1?
This top one.
All right. So attacking P-Dub 1, the one that's been lagging behind. As it finally moves up and it just growled at you before, you turn around and you hit it with a horn attack, colliding with the P-Dub's midsection. Will that be it for Gregory?
That will be all.
Okay. It's Ashenfirth.
How is that P-Dove looking?
It looks probably the healthiest out of these three. Yeah, that one, the one that's been lagging behind, it looks like he eats a lot better than the other P-Dubs.
He's a round boy.
Ashton Firth is going to inch up just a little bit more, and then he's just going to stay there.
Okay. Kicks it over to P-Dub number 2, the one that's between Gothita and Gregory. P-Dub number 2 will look back at Gothita and with a last-ditch effort, panicked, is going to risk damaging his allies and use Uproar.
Oh god.
There's going to begin making
I
this
don't think she
loud,
has a
loud
bonus
noise.
anymore.
Yeah, she won't have the bonus since Madeline's turn ended. But that is a 3 AC. If you have, I don't think anybody has a 4 AC this early. So that is a 23 special damage. Gregory, you're going to take half of that after you subtract your special defense because you are rock type. This is normal damage. But this is also going to hit P-Dove number 4, who is standing on Winona, and that P-Dove only had 2 HP left. That one's out. P-Dove number 1 will take a little bit of damage as well. As you can see, P-Dove number 1 just looks really, really angry, really annoyed. And P-Dove 2 is like panicking, flapping its wings, like trying to justify its actions, showing that it feels like it's in danger. The boss is down, it's surrounded, so he's doing anything he can to try and get out of there. And you're gonna see the last thing he'll do is he's gonna fly up 1 square, so he's gonna be up in the air levitating. And that'll be now Upton's turn.
So I'm probably gonna stay where I'm at, but be simultaneously cheering for Scoop for actually hitting something for a change, and Jimmy for catching the bird with hands. Like, I'm background support at this point, because not really much I can do. So I'm just in the back, like, whoa, go! Just cheering on.
Oh yeah. All right. Horace's turn.
Out of this one and this one,
Mhm.
which one was flying again out of these two?
The one in between us.
Yep.
Which one?
Or Horace is going to go up to this one, brandish his boot knife, and
I only say this because people watching and listening won't be able to see. You want to describe what you're doing, like which one you're moving up to, that sort of thing.
oh yes, I am moving up to the P-Dove, right next to Gregory.
Gregory,
He's right next to Gregory.
the chonky one, P-Dove number 1.
He and Durst is going to lash out with his boot knife.
Okay.
This P-Dove.
Gonna try and shank a bird.
And you'll hit. You will hit with
Right.
your bird shank.
All right. So that will be 20 because of the +1 from the boot knife.
Bird's gonna be bleeding. Is gonna look to you pissed. It's Scoop's turn.
Scoop's gonna move up next to P-Dove number 2. And he's gonna do a rollout on him.
All right. What'd you get?
AC 4, so I'm guessing that'll hit.
That'll hit.
That's 14 damage. So I imagine that he kind of lowers to the ground and does a bit of a burnout and then just rockets forward and bounces off this thing's forehead.
Hell yeah.
And then
It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it is super effective since it's rock. This is flying.
Yes. And then
It makes the same sound as a dodgeball hitting your head.
Yep. Each successive use increases the damage base by 4. So that boosted from 3 to 7.
Right. It is P-Dove number 1's turn. The last one in this round of initiative. And with Durst having just pulled up on him, he is going to attack Durst with a gust. 8 AC will hit for 25 special damage. And that brings us to the top of initiative with Madeline.
Okay. It's just a split second, like very much blink and you'll miss it moment. But she does look at Jimmy and smile a little bit before she looks back at Gothita, sees how hurt she is, and sprints towards her so that she can use a potion.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and heal up Gothita with your potion. Gothita looks up to you. She's like closing one of her eyes. Um, she's really playing up the injuries. You can tell. Um, but
She's she's on 4 HP.
she's like
Yeah,
in her.
but she's like
She's acting like
on
she's in her.
death's door,
Exactly. Yeah.
quote unquote.
Like little stub paw up to her forehead, like she's like fainting. You see like that
Like,
little bit of blood that trickles from the nose after she uses confusion. Um, and we will have Jimmy's turn. Jimmy's still sort of in shock, so he's not going to know quite what to do, but he'll move up, um, and he'll hang out right behind Scoop. We'll kick it over to Horrid. Oh no, that's way down. Dizzy. It is Dizzy's turn. Dizzy's going to run all the way up where Winona's unconscious body is and stand by Gregory. Look to Pete up 2, now completely surrounded, and use Peck.
ooh,
Oh,
Unfortunately, missing. It's not a crit fail, but it does miss. So
I
Dizzy will try
I
and rear up both of his heads to peck at the Pete of, but it's not going to be able to quite reach. What were you going to say?
since this thing is completely surrounded, does flanking play a part in anything of this?
It has been. You
Okay,
asked earlier which one was flanked. It's been flanked.
gotcha.
Um, Next will be Gothita's turn.
The one in between us is looking pretty desperate, right?
Right. Yep. And it looks like it's trying to fly away.
Like, okay, it's trying to get away.
Yeah. It on its last turn lifted itself off the ground. It's 5 feet up in the air right now. It's still within melee range of everyone, but it looks like it's trying to bolt at this point.
Being a little bit petty, Gothita remembers just how much that uproar hurt, and she crackles with electricity again.
Oh.
And the whole area around it, since everyone's so close, starts to smell like ozone. And she's going to try and hit this Peta with Thunderbolt before it can fly away.
All right. 8 will hit.
That is an 8 to hit. Yeah.
30,
For 32.
32. 32 special. And then times
bird
and a
up in the
half.
sky.
29.
You know how in like cartoons, when a bird gets hit with lightning, it like just bursts into feathers?
Vaporize this bird.
Yeah. It's that's pretty much exactly what happens. Is like lightning strikes down and it hits this P dove as it's trying to fly up. It's looking up and this cloud looms overhead, and then the static electricity being off put by Gothita sends a thunderbolt straight down right into the P dove and slams it right into the concrete. And you see this smoking P dove right next to the unconscious Winona, jaw still embedded in the bricks of the alleyway.
There's a whole roasted
Feathers
pigeon.
everywhere.
And it's Irma's turn.
Irma is going to. We can move through friendly spaces, right?
As rough terrain, yes.
It's rough terrain. Okay. She's going to move right next to Dizzy then, and that will be the end of her movement.
Brad. And we're next up to Gregory.
And Gregory's gonna turn to Pedo of 1. A fury attack.
All right.
Am I still affected by the last growl? Do I still have my stage down?
Yes. Yeah, you're still affected by growl, but you don't have that crit fail effect anymore. Your evasion or your accuracy is back up to normal, but your attack
Okay.
is still down. Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So fury attack. 6.
6 will hit. Roll for 5 strike. It's 3 hits, so change damage base to 6 again.
22.
And that'll be enough to finish it. So as Gregory rears back, ready to slam his stony head into the bird, it looks up at you with like this this angry scowl, almost saying to Gregory, "This won't be the last you see of me." Before the rock head of Gregory slams down on it and knocks him unconscious. You're going to send this PETA flying backwards into the buildings of the alleyway. And you have
Uh,
successfully. I'm sorry, go ahead.
uh, could he like knock the P-Dove over to Ashton Firth's feet?
Sure. Yeah. Gregory turns his horn in such a way that slaps the PETA over towards Ashtonfirth. This bleeding bird, stab wound in its side, completely unconscious. The small pigeon tongue leaking out or leaning out of its mouth. Um, and you have successfully defeated P-Doves of P-Dove Street.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Gregory gives Ashton Firth a little proud look and a little huff.
I'm gonna walk up, just give him a little hug. He's like, "You did it! You didn't die! You didn't go down this time!"
So all of you who or your Pokemon, you can split up 103 experience among the ones that participated. As well as that, give yourselves your characters 3 experience. Okay.
Durst is gonna walk over to Winona, uh, gently place his hands around her midsection and retrieve her from the signpost she was knocked into being.
She's just completely slumped in your arms, and you pick her up, and she her tongue lolls out of her mouth, her eyes are closed, and she doesn't stir at all.
Oh.
Uh, Perhaps for the first instance, Durst is going to rummage around in his coat pocket for something for quite a few seconds, finally bringing out something, and he's just going to poke it to the side of Winona as she's going to disappear in a flash of red light. All right, let's go. He's going to stroll over to Irma and place her back in his pocket.
Jimmy will walk over to where the Pokeball is. You can see like a crack still on the top of the top shell of the Ultra Ball. He lifts it up and puts it in his pocket, and then looks to Dizzy. His face, you can see like whatever he was thinking. It seemed to be a melancholy memory. But he looks to Dizzy, and that look on his face changes back into a smile, and he puts 2 hands up, and Dizzy headbutts his hands in sort of a high five fashion.
Ashton Firth is gonna turn to the group. Excuse me, does anyone have a spare Pokeball?
Uh,
I have 25 feet of rope.
I gave my Pokeballs to someone last time, but I don't remember who.
I think that was
Oh,
me,
I do
actually.
have a Pokeball. Oh, I thought I didn't earlier, or else I would have used it. Yeah, I have a Pokeball. Here.
Ashton Firth is gonna take the Pokeball and just like drop it onto the P-Dove at his feet.
You see that as you drop the Pokeball onto the P-Dove, the Pokeball doesn't seem to be able to pick up on enough energy to energize the Pokemon into the ball, and it just sort of rolls off of its body.
Oh, so I actually have to throw it?
Oh, no. You won't be able to catch fainted Pokemon.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, it'll be more like the video games as opposed to the anime in that regard.
I
Well,
picked the
I
ball
suppose
back
there's
up and
always a
put it in
plan
my
B.
pocket.
He's gonna pick up the P-Dove and just kind of lift it into the dumpster.
Oh,
He's gonna put it.
okay.
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
know if that's necessary.
I didn't like the way he was looking at me.
He was unconscious.
He's a bird.
You'll close the
They
lid of the
don't have
dumpster.
eyelids.
Yep.
Your Murkrow, who is watching the whole fight, will fly over and almost like laughingly caw at the injured P-Dove in the dumpster.
Jesus Christ. We've got like 3 of the most sociopathic Pokemon on this team.
Okay. So, all in all, you've defeated the P-Doves of P-Dove Street. Jimmy has captured the boss, to ensure that there won't be any return fire, and I think most of you still need a bit of a rest after that. So what do you do from here?
What time is it?
Well, you were setting out in the middle of the night. You were coming back from the racket room to go to the hideout to long rest.
Maybe do that.
Ashton Firth is gonna pick up the Pokeball he dropped and throw it back to Madeline.
Yeah, I've already put it back in my pocket.
Oh, okay, I must have missed it.
All
I
right.
think we
How
should.
how did
Go
you
ahead.
fight these pedos before, Jimmy?
Well, the one with fists used to be a lot smaller. I think this might be the evolved form.
I've
But
gathered
yeah,
they're the
he
same color.
used to just be a Peta, but something must have happened after our last battle, and he evolved. Yeah.
Well,
Dizzy and I used to do like hit and run tactics. All's fair in love and war and gang violence and stuff. So, uh, we just
organized bird violence.
sort of picked off the Petos as they were standing around the alleyway.
The more you do it,
A little fucked up. But now that you have more than one Pokemon, or at least one and a half, I'm not entirely sure how to classify Dizzy as a single organism. You could probably take on like one other street, maybe like a cul-de-sac. Do they have cul-de-sacs in the city?
He's gonna
You could
raise
take
his
on a cul-de-sac.
eyebrows. Raise his eyebrows. We talking about enterprise in here? Expanding the empire?
I mean, unless you want this one dingy alley for the rest of your career.
Well, you see, the little bit of a problem of claiming turf is that the whole city's sort of owned by the Lin family. So if I say that Tool Bunch area is Jimmy's turf, that they're gonna pick up on that. But nobody gives a shit about Pete Up Street.
Notice there might be a reason for that.
But hey, like you said, I got a pretty strong Pokemon. I got two now. So perhaps it's time to take on the Syndicate League. Maybe Jimmy can get a little bit of a promotion, huh?
That's like a bit. That's a bit of a leap. Maybe you should have like more than three, two. God, Dizzy throws me for a loop. Is that really an appropriate course of action? Two Pokemon? Just two Pokemon. Like they're good Pokemon. Don't get me
Well, I mean,
wrong.
from
Love
what I
Dizzy.
know,
That's my homeboy. My sweet cheese. My good time boy. Rotten soldiers.
what I know about the Syndicate League and the battles that I've seen, they have restricted the 2v2. So yeah, you don't need a full party to go in there. You just need two Pokemon.
Oh, well then,
noted.
never mind.
All right.
Huh. Only two?
Yeah, well, you gotta think that like a lot of people are trying to get those promotions down there in the racket room. So if they just sit there and they battle with 6 Pokemon all day, that's gonna get really boring. So instead,
It's gonna
they
take forever.
they just do two to keep it. It's like trying to streamline combat a little bit. So they just reduce the number of enemies that you have to face, so it doesn't take
Yeah.
forever, and everybody else has to sit on the side and wait their turn.
Yeah, because
Fair.
like you have to take so long in between action. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. You get it. Okay, well,
that's all
uh,
my question.
I'm sort of tired, and Dizzy needs a little bit of healing back at the Pokemon Center. So I think I'm gonna take off, gang. I do appreciate you guys coming by and helping me out. I still can't believe we've taken back Pete Street, and I don't think they're coming back. And he sort of looks down at the pack on his side where the Ultra Ball is.
I look down at the fried pita in between Godzilla and Gregory. I don't think so either.
Jimmy,
Yeah, Durst.
good job today. And with that, Durst will walk.
He's gonna smile.
Oh my god,
And he won't say anything.
that's so much emotional vulnerability.
Um, you'll see Jimmy put an arm around Dizzy's two necks, and the two heads will begin like pecking each other. They seem to be in an argument. But Jimmy will walk Dizzy away from the alley, And the rest of you can do as you wish. I know Durst said he was walking away. Are you guys going to go ahead and call it
Yeah,
as a long
I'm
rest?
going with him.
Right. Are you heading to the hideout
Yeah.
or are you going to the Pokemon Center?
Well, Gothita is really injured,
Yeah.
so I'm probably
Winona,
headed to the
she's like,
Poké Center.
yeah, let's go there because two of our guys kind of need some help.
All right.
Yeah.
They also have like beds, and I don't think the hideout has beds.
Not yet. Nope. I have been giving you guys excess money, so you guys can do with that which as you wish, like retrofitting your hideout and renovating it, expanding to different properties. I'm giving you guys more money than I'm giving Neon specifically for that reason because you guys are sort of underground, right?
Gotcha.
There's not as much travel with you all as there is with Neon, where they're like adventuring and they're nomadic, and really the only
Mhm.
thing that they need to spend money on is items. Whereas you guys,
Yep.
it's like you might need that money for bribery. Um, Ashton Firth needed to spend $10,000 to be able to convert a stolen Pokemon into his name. So
Mhm.
I'm giving you guys extra money for these criminal things. Right?
Mm.
So crime does pay.
It does pay. It does pay.
Mhm.
You make it to the Pokemon Center, and um, there's a man with pink hair, combed over to the side. Imagine like how I've been imagining Nurse Roy is essentially the gender swapped Princess Bubblegum, Prince Gumball. It's kind of how he looks, but nurse uniform. He's wearing scrubs, everything. Um,
Gotcha.
and he's behind the counter. He welcomes you all in. You can see he looks a bit tired. It is probably roughly 3 in the morning. Um, and he's drinking a cup of coffee to keep himself awake. But he welcomes you all in.
Howdy.
Gang of hooligans.
Why, hello everybody. How can I help you tonight?
Got some mom that need healing.
Come on, I like that. Yeah, that sounds hip and snazzy. I might pick that up
Had a,
if you don't mind.
Mm.
Oh,
had an incident with the local fauna.
yes.
Durst will place a Pokeball on the counter.
He's going to collect your Pokeballs, everyone who's getting their Pokemon healed, and he'll take them back to um, the recovery room. You'll hear some machinery moving around and things like that, and he'll come back a little bit later with the Pokeballs on a tray and distribute them back to everybody.
And as Ashton Firth is taking Gregory back, he's gonna ask the guy, "Excuse me, sir, do you know what time the trash is picked up in this part of town?"
Um, well, most trash routes they usually come around 6 a.m. or so. That's uniform across the city. I don't really know, but I mean that's when they pick it up here at the Pokemon Center. I would assume it's the same everywhere else.
Very good, thank you, sir. And he'll just walk off.
Got some. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, have a nice day.
He won't respond.
Nurse Roy goes back to sitting down. He looks sad.
Yeah, I was gonna have some small talk with him, since he's having a bit of a rough night
He
so far.
he'll enjoy the conversation, the little back and forth, even if it's nothing. There's not a lot of depth to the conversation you guys are having, but there'll be a little bit um of conversation that he seems to need to help him wake up and get going. But you guys got your Pokemon back.
Yeah, it's
I'll probably
casual,
join
but
in
it's
on.
human contact.
I'll probably join in on this. Just like, okay, this guy's just up here, wants to go to sleep, needs something to keep him
I mean,
awake.
On well, could we sleep at the hideout?
If you want to.
I guess.
Awesome. The main reason I'm asking is because depending how late it is, would anything be open?
This being the largest city in the region, yes.
Awesome. Can Durst head to some sort of like gas station, or I'm looking for moderately priced processed food to feed my Pokemon?
Gotcha. Yeah.
The greasiest thing you can find.
Yeah. They've got gas stations like that. What's going to be legally distinct 7-Eleven?
Shelter. No.
Oh, that's good. Just gotta say 812.
812.
Uh,
No, I like Shelter. I like yes.
Yeah.
You'll go
Yeah,
to
that's good.
you'll go to a gas station. It's gonna have a like a Shelter's purple shell plastered up, but you can see it slightly open. So there's like two little eyes that look down. That's their logo. They got it up on on one of those tall. It's not a flagpole, but the thing that holds up the sign. But it's just the logo that's up
Yeah.
there, so it's just easily recognizable. Everyone knows what a Shelter is here. You head inside, and you're gonna see like this. Um, he's a younger guy. Um, he'll have uh, he'll have thick rimmed glasses that have like a rubber strap that wrap back around. He's wearing a visor, thin cut, buzz cut hair, sort of curled. I guess not buzz cut, but like short curled hair close to his head. Um, and he's reading a magazine. Got his feet up on the counter, leaned back in a chair. Hi, welcome to Shelter.
Howdy. Durst is gonna look. Do they have? Hmm, do they have one of those heat displays that have like tater tots or like? I'm looking for pocket food for Winona. Is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they've
Like
got.
cheesy bites, but cheese is spelled like CHEEZ dash
Oh yeah,
Y.
none of these are good for you. All of these are gonna shorten your lifespan by like 5 days.
They got corn dogs
There's like
in
a
the little
Surgeon
wax paper
General's
sacks.
warning on the back of it.
Oh, we
Uh-oh.
lost him. There he is. But they've got like corn dogs and wax paper sacks. They do have tater tots, orders of fries, stuff like that.
How many? How much for a couple of these corn dogs?
They're 150 poke each.
Mm.
Why did you say corn dogs like you've never heard of them?
Madeline, you aren't here. I don't need you
I'm
in my
I'm not
mind.
narrating as Madeline.
You were asking a Durst question when you were not around. Get out of my skull.
You can't ask Durst questions when he's around.
Imagine if
Picture.
Durst just has multiple personality disorder and it's all us.
I love to think of him just standing in the middle of this gas station, just arguing with
Download.
himself.
So Durst is gonna grab 2 corn dogs. Gonna pay the 300 poke dollars for them. Knowing that when Winona awakes, the appetite will be ravenous. Much obliged. And he's gonna exit and head back to the hideout where he will. So I also wanted to correct something. We named the blue ditto Lenny.
Lenny,
I-
not okay. It was Lenny, not Kenny. My bad.
Yeah, because
I thought I
his
just remembered it.
his full name is Leonard, but like
That's right.
Durst calls him Lenny.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought Kenny was short for Kenneth. You know, I was close.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to say anything. But
I remember that he's Lenny because of the Red Dead Redemption character.
that is exactly why
Lenny.
he is. That's exactly why he's named Lenny.
Right.
So he's
Ash-
Durst is gonna head back to the hideout and he's gonna throw out all of his Pokemon. So I guess that being releasing Winona from her Pokeball and placing Irma on the floor out of his jacket pocket.
Yeah.
He's gonna give them
She's
both a
probably
corn dog.
supposed to be in there though.
Well, until Durst is able to find a place that sells Pokeballs to actually put her in one, she is a pocket cat. That is
I thought we
her.
established earlier that I had them and was willing to just give them out.
And you chose to go to a gas station instead of a Pokemart, which was right next door to the Poke Center.
Look, Durst is a man of priorities. Corn dogs first.
Whenever you give the corn dogs to Irma and Winona, you'll see Irma does that cat thing where it she digs her claws into it and then starts biting it with fangs bared, and you hear like the noise that they make.
French face.
You make it back to the hideout. All of you do, and as you make it back to the hideout, you actually see Jimmy in the back alleyway where the entrance to your hideout is. Um, and he Oh wait, no, Jimmy went with you to the Pokemon Center. You see that Jimmy is following you to the hideout and just sort of saying it nonchalant.
It's like a little lost puppy.
Yeah. Is it okay?
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
I'm like looking at him a little oddly,
Fine
So-
with me.
but I'm not gonna say anything.
So he comes along with you. And as you make it to that alleyway, where the Enia Systems computer building used to be, and has now been retrofitted into the Team Gambit hideout, he stops you all, and he's like, "All right, everybody. I made a quick stop back on P-Dove Street on the way over here. Those P-Doves were sitting on a bit of a stash. And he's going to pull out like a couple handfuls of jewelry,
Oh,
as well as 4 potions
interesting.
and 4 net balls.
Ooh,
So you'll each get 1 potion, 1 net ball, and 3,000 Pokedollars each.
Word.
That's sick. Love it.
He's gonna say, so is there a room in there for old Jimmy to sleep?
do you not have a place to sleep?
I mean, I can go to the Pokemon Center, but I just figured since I walked all the way over here, that I didn't know if it's stupid. I'll walk back to the Pokemon Center. Sorry, it's okay.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have anywhere to sleep. You can come in. We're not gonna kick you
Pull
out.
Upton aside, like very conspicuously, just off into a corner. Upton.
What?
We don't have beds.
Well,
I'm gonna sleep on my jacket.
Okay, but seeing your PNG say that was so fucking funny.
I mean, look, this guy doesn't have anywhere to sleep. He's only gonna be sleeping outside and getting rained on or
I said
whatever.
you could
Just,
sleep at the Pokemon Center.
oh, what? I'm sorry,
said
I wasn't.
The
I,
Pokemon
I
Center,
zoned out for a minute. Okay.
which was also where I was gonna sleep, but I feel weird being the only person not in the group. So
I mean,
I've
if I'm,
peer pressured myself into coming with.
he
You're
sort of
not a part of this conversation. You stay
Oh.
out of it.
he pipes down. He's like, he looks to Dizzy. He's like, I mean, I thought maybe she just thought I couldn't hear her, but
No, like I'm obviously like huddled with Upton. Nobody else is in this corner, but I'm still talking pretty loudly.
I'm gonna be honest, I zoned out for a second, so like whatever the plan is, just I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He can sleep here. It's just I'm going to cannot think of a legally distinct IKEA.
I can't either.
I'm going to Blue Furniture Store in the morning.
Oh,
So we've got a. You guys have just long rested. You stay overnight in the hideout, and everything
They'll
goes
huddle
peachy
up on the
keen.
floor
can I
like stray cats.
bring out the boy named Lenny and spend some time with Leo Leonard?
Sure, but he seems to continuously grab for your pocket corn dogs.
I will. Can I use my
Such a sentence.
where is it? My edge. I think it is. Yeah, Poke Psychologist. Can I use my Poke Psychologist edge to perhaps offer him this bite of the corn dog and be friendly with him to try and raise his disposition towards me?
You can use Pokemon Education instead of Intimidate when interacting with Pokemon to raise or to raise or lower their disposition. Okay, yeah. Um, roll Pokemon Education. So I actually don't think that meets the DC. So it's very neutral. Just gonna eat the food.
I'm like, oh, well, that's all right. We'll work on it tomorrow.
So the Lenny, the Ditto, he's gonna just turn back to the goop after you've fed him, and he just flattens. He almost looks like he melts and just goes to sleep on the floor. You guys enjoy your long rest.
It
Your
turns into one of those like cartoon holes.
yeah, your Pokemon from your stop at the Pokemon Center heal 3 injuries. If they had any more than that, they can only heal for 3 of them, but they heal 3. And you wake up the next day. I think what we've got is finally the day your heist may happen. You've got your key pieces in play. You've got
We
all
beat up the birds.
yeah, you've got some levels, some experience under your belt. Um and you have all the things that you wanted to get for the heist. Now it's just time to execute said heist. So let's spend some time to prep. Let's talk about how you'd like to do this today. What steps are you going to take with the tools that you have obtained to be able to steal the prized Pokemon of the Saffron City Gym Leader?
Got little shapeshifter Lenny. We know roughly what Pokemon we're dealing with here.
Yep.
Some sort of sack cat.
We know what her daily routine is,
Yeah, because you got her little book.
so we just need to get to her and
Now,
swap them.
here's a very wild thought. You know,
Oh
what
goodness! I love when you have wild thoughts.
what
Does it
if
involve a knife?
potentially now
Oh,
what if picture this. Durst says, do we have a whiteboard?
Yes.
All right. So Durst is going to go over this here whiteboard. He's going to start drawing a very rough layout of the city, and it's not going to look anything like the city. Uh, let's theoretically put
is it a duck? What
Yeah.
is
what's a duck?
like a Psyduck or a Golduck?
Hmm. We'll get back to that.
It-
Anyway, so if we draws a line perpendicular to the city street, start a crime right here,
We've been
close
doing those
to
frequently.
yes, close to the mall, around the time she leaves to go do her police work, she'll be drawn in. At that point, we send in the haunch crow with the old switcheroo. The only question is, what do we switch it out with?
I look
Uh,
at Lenny.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm part of this discussion or not, but I mean that thing can turn into anything else. So I mean, I would put my money on that thing. He points to Lenny.
But look, Lenny is mine. I'm not going to give him up freely.
I'm gonna draw a little picture of Phobos on the whiteboard. I don't know how well I can draw.
Uh,
What?
roll. Let's do a
Uh-huh.
either a focus check or stealth check because stealth is used as sleight of hand in this game. So either focus or stealth, your choice.
I'm gonna use stealth because I have a 3 in that. Nice. That's a
15.
15.
You draw the perfect representation of Phobos. This Abra in low cut shorts, a workout tank top, and a sweatband. And you see Lenny jellify and then wiggle back into place, and he slowly turns into Phobos, the spitting image of.
Well, there we go. Put him back in the ball, switch him around.
But you see, the problem with that is, walks over towards Phobos Lenny, puts hand on Lenny, my Pokemon. I'm just gonna switch my Pokemon.
I mean,
You're
is
gonna
he
jeopardize this
really
whole plan because you
yours?
don't want to give up the Jello.
If he's really yours, then he'll come back, right?
Looks to
It's
the
a
heavens.
it's a test of your bond.
Looks to
It's
the
good.
heavens, asking Arceus himself, "Damn, would my boy come back to me?"
Would you even
I'm
know that?
yeah, I'm not gonna give an answer.
Damn, please raise his hands. Why?
No, I'm not saying either way. I'm not saying either
Can
way.
I roll to convince him that he will?
Sure, yeah.
But
You can roll a guile check.
I'll roll a guile check. I have a 4 in guile.
Yeah. Okay.
16.
Yeah. So
I
Upton is very convincing if you want to roll your insight against that or intuition.
all right. Okay, 1 second. Gotta bring out there's sheet. I think it's closed. Intuition.
Fun
So
to show how
you
close you
know,
guys are.
I would not be able to beat that because I only have 2d6s in that skill.
Upton
Oh
gives a
no.
very convincing statement on how Lenny will absolutely come back.
He'll come back. Guy
Look,
loves you.
look at him.
You giving him a bite of a corn dog? He's like,
Bite of a
yeah.
corn dog.
A bite of a corn dog. That's a bond that never breaks.
You know, Upton, you make a pretty compelling argument there. The sacred bond of the corn dog bite is a long honored tradition in all of our town, where I'm from.
See, that's what I'm saying. So he'll come back so we can use him to steal this other guy. So
All right.
We
Yeah.
just brushed over that Durst lore drop. Okay.
yeah,
It's
I'm
an
to just
important
roll with it. It's like,
bonding
cool, he's in on the plan. So let's just keep
ritual.
on barreling through.
Yeah, I've got like a little notebook of information that I'm keeping on Durst, and so far all of my notes that I've taken on him have pointed to him being from some sort of lost Mayan civilization.
No, not at all. Side eyes.
Oh man.
All right. So yeah, you've decided that what will happen is that you're going to commit a crime near the Saffron City Mall near the time that Simone Richards' shift ends. And you're going to lure her out whenever she goes out on her ranger duties and try to get her to come to the crime that you've committed and get the Murkrow that Ashtonfirth has to use switcheroo and swap out Phobos with Lenny.
Now, I will say, gentlemen, I do love this plan. It's a good plan. Um, looks at calendar date. How many days has it been since I needed to transport my boy Leonard to the drop-off point?
Today will be day 4.
We
We have a calendar in here, but it's from 1954.
Yeah.
we only have this many days, points towards calendar, before I'm technically a dead man. So yeah,
Oh,
probably.
you're afraid of a little Lynn family? Come on. It wasn't the Lynn family. Who was it? Was it
The
the Lynn?
The Lynn family hired Durst to be a courier to deliver
Okay.
that
I
package
thought it was a
to
different family for some reason.
it is. The Lynn family hired Durst to be a courier to deliver the package to a different family that you know to be a drug running family out of Pewter City.
So I just want to look at the choice of word you used there. This was there was no hiring here. This was conscription. I was
Conscription.
Coercion?
conscripted into doing this. Otherwise, I was going to have them break me out of pokey jail.
Which we probably could have done a
For the
lot
crime
easier than
I
facing the
didn't
wrath
commit.
of
Side eyes Upton.
Hey, I didn't tell you
God.
to
You
just
screwed
stroll
over
knock
both
something
of
away
us
from
with
the
that.
car.
We
I
didn't
accept some
tell you to touch
responsibility,
the
but I'll own it.
cat.
You guys just keep yelling over each other. No one can hear anything.
I will accept some responsibility, but I'm not the one
I was
that
gonna
made
rob
him just
someone.
stand there. Anyways,
That is fair.
Anyways, back on topic. We're getting off the course.
Anyways, who should
Okay.
we make go to commit the crime and possibly get arrested?
What are the stores near that area? If you have any.
It'll be so there is the mall that was around the area that the jewelry store was. That's pretty close to where that parking garage was. That that Upton hid out on where you got stopped. So that's kind of close. Um,
Mhm.
I would just say there's various retail stores, nothing specific.
If only we had someone on our team who was like really good at being very conspicuous with their crimes.
Upton,
Really?
you're up.
Well, I was looking at you, but
Huh?
you're not
What?
wrong. Okay, technically,
No,
trying to touch
no.
a cat and being really bad at it is not a
What do you mean?
it's a
What?
crime.
What? I know that. What do you mean? What's conspicuous? What's that mean?
I think that's like whenever you get them little pastas in the can, the shapes like O's.
Oh, I like those, but I don't see how that's pertinent
Yes,
to
They're all
this.
going to jail.
conspicuous.
Conspicuous. Their stomach will growl a little bit.
I don't know how it could have possibly been relevant to the conversation at hand. Forget I said anything.
So, who would want to do this crime?
Wait, I have an idea.
Let's
Oh,
hear it.
There it is.
yay!
There it is.
So we know that there's circles, some areas on the duck. There's gonna be some retail stores in this area. Perhaps we can also steal some things for the hideout here. Win-win, so to speak.
What, are you gonna steal bed frames?
Why do you need a frame for a bed? You're not hanging it on the wall. Why does it need to be framed?
Who are you?
The man does have a point.
No, we need like
No, he does not! What
looks
do you
around.
mean he has a point?
We need some sort of looks around. We got an ice box, something we can put some sort of big old ice block in to keep our food cool.
Am I crazy?
No, you have like an old timey refrigerator, like from the 40s, like one of the ones that has
Mm,
the circular edges or the rounded edges, and is only
yeah.
like 5 feet tall.
Oh, retro fridge.
I thought this was some sort of medicine cabinet.
To recap everything, you guys have the plan to commit a crime nearby the Saffron City Mall
Yes.
and lure Simone Richards to you. Then you
Yep.
switcheroo on that. Jimmy will pipe up and say, "Well, from what I understand out of this plan, if I'm allowed to speak," he's going to put his hands up before saying anything.
Go right ahead.
You
So
are a member of this team.
you're going to see his bottom jaw is
He's
going to
just
drop a little bit.
transforming.
He's like, "Yeah, I am."
Are
Yeah.
you?
So what's the do we have a team name?
Did we not?
Durst
Were you
is
not
gonna
told?
walk.
You didn't tell him
Durst is
anything.
gonna. Durst is gonna walk
Mr. Tom
over
not
to
tell you?
Jimmy. He's gonna put his hand on his shoulder. Jimmy, by the power invested in me by Mr. Tom, I hereby induct you into Team Gambit. Welcome in.
He's gonna throw both of his arms up. Woo!
Am I gonna have to
Wait.
make him a uniform now?
I mean,
Yes.
Damn.
He's gonna say, "Well, from what I understand, if we're gonna be using the Murkrow to do switcheroo, that means Ashtonforth can't be the one to do the crime because that's his Pokemon. So if he's gonna be telling the Murkrow to use switcheroo, he's gotta be nearby though. So it's gotta be one of us four who's gotta commit the crime. I mean, I'm fine with going down. I'll take one for the team.
Mm,
I'll be a fall guy.
Well,
Just so I love Fall Guy.
we're gonna need someone who is Possibly very good at being seen, knows how to cause an uproar. Mm.
I'm just staring at him the whole time
I,
he's talking.
I was expecting the next thing to come out of his mouth to be dashingly
Maybe someone
handsome.
like
Someone
maybe like
striking.
well,
Mm.
okay. We can do without that last part because I think our pickings are slim
Upton, do
here.
you think you can do what you did to that car again, except to a store window?
Oh,
You think Upton is striking?
Upton, you should take it. He said you're striking.
He did say that.
In the look sense
I
or in
did
the
see
I'm good
that.
at striking things with my Solosis?
Jimmy's gonna look
This is
around.
also true.
I guess it's up for interpretation. So I guess it's however you want to take it, dude.
Fair. I mean, if things get hairy, I have been known to be able to talk my way out of hairy situations, so I could have a few ways out.
Who's Harry?
Some dude back home. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So I could probably go and do it if everyone wants me to.
So we're down for stealing a few rugs, maybe let's see here. What are some things that the base may need?
Somewhere to sleep. Like
What do you
literally
mean?
just sleeping bags even.
What do you mean? Points towards the bedrolls that are laid out across the floor. Got a bed right there.
I don't
Wait,
think we have
do we have
bedrolls.
bedrolls?
Do we have bedrolls?
You don't have bed. Only if you bought one during character creation, you have bedrolls. If you didn't, you don't have a
I
bedroll.
did not.
Durst does.
It's a
So-
bedroll that he has.
And then I
What do
also
you
wanted
mean?
to say this place is still like it's been abandoned for 25 years. So like there's no it's not been cleaned. There's layers of dust on everything. Broken drywall is left like that white residue on the ground, like the chalk. Um, and everything's in disrepair. So, in addition to furniture, perhaps like get some cleaning done on it somehow. Or you
Hey,
could.
Upton, how fast do you think you can sprint while holding a full-size vacuum?
I am not fast, so it has to be someone else.
Jimmy will say, "I don't. I don't want to overstep any boundaries here, but perhaps we should keep focus on the job if we're going to be doing this today."
Yeah, you've got a point. So
So,
Just
are
wing
we
it with whatever you steal.
are we stocked up with items and stuff for the coming event? I mean, there's no way that Simone Richards is just gonna let us get off without a fight. So I mean, if me being striking or Upton being striking are gonna be going on to this little crime spree and luring her over to us, I'd like to be able to have something to back myself up if things go south.
you've got a good point there. So we should probably go stock up because I don't have a whole lot.
Well, listen,
Gonna
if we're
revive.
still undecided on who's going to be committing the crime, I'd like to reiterate that I do know the streets of Saffron City like the back of my hand. I could do this, lure her in, and then once you make the swap, I make a run for it. I can disappear into those alleys, no problem.
He does raise a good point. Someone who's able to make a quick getaway is better than me. Questionable direction skills and all that. So I guess we're sending Jimmy in to do the criming.
He's gonna salute, and I'm ready. Think I got everything I need on me. You guys say the word whenever it's time today, and I got just the crime. And I think that's where we take our break.